So today I'm gonna show you how to make keto peanut butter donuts. Lately on the channel, we've been doing a bunch of keto breakfast ideas and recipes, and today's recipe is no different from those. Actually, today's recipe is probably one of the most breakfasty things you could possibly make. I mean, when I think about breakfast, one of the first foods that I think about are donuts. And let me tell you guys, today's keto donut recipe is it's ridiculous. I'm even gonna show you how to make a peanut butter glaze for your peanut butter donuts. You don't have to add the glaze, but if you do, you'll be able to add the toppings of your choice, crushed nuts or no sugar added chocolate chips or a combination of the both. You even could add some no sugar jelly to the top of these and have like a peanut butter and jelly donut. It's crazy. So with that being said, let's jump into this one and I'll show you how to make these keto donuts. So first things first, we wanna get out a food scale and a large bowl. And then we can get out our dry ingredients. The first dry ingredient we're gonna add is going to be some super fine almond flour. We're actually gonna be adding 1 1/4 cups or about 125 grams of the almond flour to our bowl. And then once we've added all the almond flour to the bowl, we're gonna sweeten our donuts up today using some granulated erythritol. And if you don't know what erythritol is, it's a 0 carb, 0 calorie sweetener. So we're able to sweeten our donuts up without actually adding any additional carbs to the recipe. The brand that I'm using today is called Swerve. It's what I always use. If you want to pick some of this up, there's a link to grab it in the video description below. But for today's recipe, we're going to be adding a 1/2 cup or 75 grams of that stuff to our bowl. And then once we've added all of that in there, we're going to add a teaspoon of baking powder and then finally just a pinch of salt. And that's going to actually do it for the dry ingredients. So now we can whisk all those ingredients until they're combined and then we can set that bowl aside. So now at this point, we're going to take out an even larger bowl and we're going to crack and add 2 large eggs to it. Of course, we have to add some peanut butter because we are making peanut butter donuts. So we're gonna add 5 tablespoons or 80 grams of a no sugar added peanut butter. My personal favorite is Smucker's. And then the last thing we're gonna add is gonna be a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now at this point, we've got all of our liquid ingredients added to the bowl. So we're just gonna whiskify all those ingredients until they're combined and a thick, creamy peanut butter batter starts to form in the bowl. Once that happens, we're gonna get our dry ingredients back out, add those to the bowl, and then we're just gonna fold all the ingredients together with a spatula until a super thick batter forms in our bowl. Once that thick batter does form, that's when we're gonna add a 1/3 cup of unsweetened vanilla almond milk. And then we're just gonna fold that into the ingredients until it combines with everything and a more pourable batter starts to form in the bowl. So once the consistency of the batter is looking more like this, that's when we can take out our 6-slotted donut pan, coat it with a little bit of baking spray, and then start adding the batter to the donut tray. And just so you know, the recipe makes 8 donuts and not 6, so you should have some batter left over after you fill up all of the slots in the tray. Anyways, once you've got the donut batter added to the tray, you want to bake your donuts at 350 degrees for about 15 minutes. And while the donuts are baking is the perfect time to get together the glaze for the donuts. In a small dish, I'm going to add 4 tablespoons or 24 grams of powdered peanut butter. My favorite kind and the kind I'm using today is PV2, but there are a few different kinds out there and they all should work the same. Once we've got our powdered peanut butter added, the next thing we're going to add is going to be some confectioner's erythritol to sweeten our glaze up. And I think the perfect amount of sweetness for the glaze is 3/4 tablespoon or 8 grams of the confectioner's erythritol. And then the last thing we're gonna add is gonna be 2.5 tablespoons of water. So now at this point, we've got all the ingredients added to our bowl. We're just gonna mix everything until a thick peanut buttery glaze starts to form in there. And once it does, we can set that bowl aside. At this point, the donuts are probably done in the oven. So we'll just take those out, let them cool a little bit in the tray. And then once they cool down enough to touch, that's when we're gonna take a knife and run it around the outer edge of each donut slot, just to help remove the donuts a little bit easier from the tray itself. So once we take the donuts out of the tray, that's when we can add the glaze to the donuts. And then once we've got our glaze added, we can add the toppings of our choice. A couple of my favorites are crushed peanuts or the no sugar added Lily's chocolate chips. I think those are a pretty good combination. But regardless of what toppings you choose, your donut should turn out something like this. How delicious do these donuts look? So that is my keto peanut butter donut recipe. I hope you guys enjoy these. As far as keto breakfast ideas go, I think this is at like the top of my list. I love peanut butter. I love donuts. It's a match made in heaven. If you're looking for the full macro breakdown of every donut, it's listed in the video description below. Also down there, you'll find the links to all the products that I used to make the donuts today. For instance, the powdered peanut butter that I used to make the glaze for the donuts, that's down there along with all the other stuff. So if you need to pick up any of that stuff, check the video description. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you make these. I hope you enjoy them. If you do, tag me on Instagram. My handle's down there too. And I will see you in the next recipe.